Tippecanoe County Sheriff Bob Goldsmith is speaking out, correcting what he says was a false statement made during our Hero Fund USA fundraiser. During the broadcast, Republican candidate for Sheriff Jason Huber discussed what equipment he would want to purchase if he wins in November. Sheriff Goldsmith says he began receiving calls after Huber's appearance, asking the sheriff why his department didn't have the necessary equipment Huber said he would buy. Goldsmith wanted to set the record straight about that equipment and how high of a priority safety is in the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office. Back to first responders and supporting them.
Vests or helmets, shields, anything to help the corrections officers out.
We already have those items, and I wanted people to understand that we take safety, we're very serious about it, and we're doing everything we can to supply our team here with the things they need to be safe. And I just want them to understand that, because people are asking me about the equipment that we have here, thinking we don't have these things, and we absolutely have them.
Kansas City 4 years ago.
Speaking of Hero Fund USA, checks have trickled into WLFI over the past 2 days, and at last count, the people of Greater Lafayette have donated, get this, more than $30,000. We want to express our heartfelt appreciation for all the generosity and can't wait to see what equipment local agencies will receive, paid for by your generous donations.
Discovery Park became the landing zone for an aircraft that takes off and lands like a helicopter but flies like an airplane. That aircraft is none other than the Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey. It flew over the Greater Lafayette area, including Purdue University's campus today, landing at the Convergence Center. It was all thanks to the collaboration between Rolls-Royce and Purdue University. The two partners have been working together for more than 70 years. Rolls-Royce employs more than 740 Purdue graduates, and the landing of the Osprey also serves as a recruitment tool for Purdue students who are interested in working for the company. Warren White is the head of assembly and test for Rolls-Royce. He says the company's turboshaft engines make it a very versatile aircraft.
So it can go farther and faster than typical helicopter units, so it's great for the Marine Corps. It has tremendous missions of relief. It can get into places that after hurricanes, after disasters, it takes off from ships. It takes medical evac in different places, and it puts people in places that's hard to get to.
The V-22 Osprey has been in military service since 2007. It's powered by twin Rolls-Royce T406 turboshaft engines. Rolls-Royce is the only manufacturer to produce the engine that's needed to power that aircraft.
After a year in operation, officials say they're pleased with the initial response to the City Bus Flex service. The positive results could lead to an expansion of the program in the future. City Bus Flex, is an on-demand transit service. The service covers a zone near downtown Lafayette from Wabash Avenue to Overlook Apartments on Elston Road. Prior to the Flex service, City Bus did not have bus stops within walking distance for many of the residents in those areas. The operations manager says around 4,000 people have used the service since it launched in August of last year. He adds, in addition to seeing a steady increase in the number of riders, the Flex service zone has also expanded due to demand.
There was a need for two, we call them service bubbles, if you will, that we added on the south side of town at the IU Arnett Clinic South and at the Payless on Old US 231. So we've modified the service as we've responded to demand to get people where they're going as safely and efficiently as possible.
Walk says City Bus has identified other underserved areas where the Flex service could expand in the future. For now, however, he says the focus is on improving the efficiency of the current service zone.
Well, as we told you at the top of the newscast, Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96.
Buckingham Palace issued a statement saying the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral, her residence in Scotland. Ian Lee looks back at her life.
Even into her 90s, Queen Elizabeth II kept up her royal duties. She became the longest reigning monarch in British history in 2015.
Inevitably, a long life can pass by many milestones. My own is no exception.
At 25 years old, Elizabeth became queen. Millions watched the first ever televised crowning of a British monarch. Queen Elizabeth worked with more than a dozen British prime ministers, beginning with Winston Churchill, and was head of state in 15 other Commonwealth countries. A series of royal dramas marked her reign. Her son Andrew's high-profile marriage to Sarah Ferguson failed. And in 1992, her oldest son, Charles, separated from Princess Diana. That same year, the Queen watched part of Windsor Castle go up in flames, destroying millions in art and furniture.
1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure.
In 1997, a car crash in Paris killed Princess Diana, stunning the world. Many criticized the Queen for not showing emotion. More than a decade later, the Queen celebrated a royal wedding as her grandson, Prince William, married Kate Middleton. The couple gave the Queen 3 heirs to the throne. The Queen watched another tiny royal join the family after her youngest grandson, Prince Harry, married Meghan Markle. Just a few years later, the Queen lost her husband of 73 years. She called the death of Prince Philip a huge void in her life, but she carried on. And at 96 years old, celebrated her Platinum Jubilee. The week of fanfare and festivities marked the Queen's 70 years on the British throne. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And still ahead, applying for life insurance can be quite a hassle. What people should know if they're looking to receive life insurance coming up after a quick break.
You're watching News 18 at 6. News from where you live.
Well, it's Life Insurance Awareness Month, and research finds that while most people understand the need for coverage, many still don't have it.
Jill Schlesinger has the information you need to know right now.
Insurance is essentially the vegetable portion of your financial diet. And who wants vegetables when we can gobble up the sizzle of something like investments? And of course, life insurance requires you to contemplate the worst possible of all bad things, death. On top of that, you may find yourself flummoxed by complex and sometimes heavy-handed insurance sales pitches, dense policy agreements, and fee structures that often require a special decoder ring to unravel. To determine if you need life insurance, ask yourself, if I were to die now, would anyone endure a financial hardship? If the answer is yes, you'll need to purchase enough coverage to help pay for living expenses. There are online calculators that can help you find that out. And if you're the primary caretaker for your children or adult parents, factor in the additional cost of care for them. If you're a single parent or the primary wage earner, you may want to leave cash to pay off debts like student loans or the mortgage. And if you want to pre-fund college or provide for future retirement needs of your surviving spouse, add that in too. In New York, I'm Jill Schlesinger.
All right, highs today reached 80 to 86. Mid-80s Attica, as well as Kentland and Rensselaer. Low 80s at Galveston. And we got to 80 at the Grissom Air Reserve Base. A hair warmer, but more humid to end the week. And then we've got some thunder showers. We'll show you the timing with Futurecast next.
You're watching News 18 at 6. News from where you live.
Registration is underway now for the Tyler Trent Golf Outing. The event raises funds for Purdue's Center for Cancer Research in honor of Tyler Trent, who died of osteosarcoma cancer in 2019. This year's golf outing is September 9th at the Coyote Crossing Golf Club. Jim Vrujink is the executive director for the Joe Tiller chapter of the National Football Foundation. Vrujink says it'll build on $12,000 raised for cancer research the first year the outing was held.
The Joe Tiller chapter of National Football Foundation took over the sponsoring of this golf outing a couple years ago, and this is the second consecutive year that we have hosted it, and so we're looking for great success once again.
Again, the golf outing is Friday, September 9th. You can visit our website, WLFI.com, for a link to register.